Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Liaquat and here is a new series that I thought I'd start off. So the series basically is going to be covering words of the Quran. So the Arabic language is made up of many words. So for instance, you have ja'a here, which is made up of jim, ya, and hamza. So these words, they actually have a particular meaning, just like any word you have. Likewise, you have the word Rasul over here. So Rasul is also made up of three basic root letters, Ra, Sin and Lam. So this also has a specific meaning. And you have the word Musaddiq here. So it's made up of Sad, Dal and Qaf. So my aim of this series is basically to go into the Quranic words, and instead of translating ayats like you normally find in a translation, what I want to do is I want to show the listener, I want to show the reader, or in this case listener, not reader, I want to show them how the word is used in the Arabic language, the original usage of that word, and the special, you can say, like qualities of those specific letters, the ishtiqaq, and then you can see how it's used in other places. So for instance, like let's take the word rasul, so it's rasala. So we're going to look at the first two letters, ra and sin. So in the Quran you have ra, sin, sin. Okay, so the sin at the end. So we want to look at all words in the Quran that start with Ra and Sin. So you have Ra, Sin, Sin. You have Ra, Sin and Alif. Yeah, so that's also found in the Quran, Ra, Sin, Alif. You also have Ra, Sin, Kha. Okay, so Kha at the end. So notice there's a pattern here. So all these Ra, Sin words has a pattern. So Ra, Sin and Lam in the one that's in red. So four words in the Quran, Ra, Sin, they all share the same two first letters, but the last letter is slightly different. However, the brilliant thing about the Arabic language is you will find that in the Arabic language, all of these four words have a common meaning. So behind them, you'll find some sort of common meaning, which you can trace by going through the dictionaries and going through Arabic poetry and going through how the Arabic language uses those specific words. So what I want to do, my aim of this series is to be able to bring out the shared meanings of words using books that I'm reading. So for example, one of the books I'll be reading, and I'll put it in the comments as well, is المعجم الاشتقاقي. It's a book. You can find that in the description, in the comments. The name is quite long, but this is the short name for it. So I'll be using that inshallah, and let's start then inshallah, hopefully. So Ra, it's the Sin, the Alif, the Kha and the Lam, like I pointed out. So we're going to be focusing on words which share the same first two letters. Okay, so the last letter might be different, but the first two, that's we're going to be really focusing on, right? Because I want you guys to understand the Quran. I want you guys to be able to appreciate how the Quran works, or the Arabic language works, sorry, so you can translate, but I want a precise translation. So here we want to look at a word, for example, like I just thought of a random word, naba'a. So it starts off with Noon and Ba. Right, so we're going to look at words in the Quran that start with Noon and Ba. So what I found is there are 7 words in the Quran that start with Noon and Ba. Right, so as you can see from the top, we have Nabawa, yeah, Nabu. You have Naba'a, Nabata, Nabata, Naba'a, Nabadha, Nabaza. Right, so these are all words in the Quran which are used in the Quran, but in different forms they're used, but you'll find in the meaning they share meaning. Now if you can grasp that original shared sort of root meaning, what will happen is when you translate, it has more of an impact. You can see the precision of Allah's words better, rather than relying on a translation which kind of gives maybe a broader meaning, or it might give maybe even a wrong meaning even. You can see how far they go off. So let's have a look then. So I'm going to try to cover all these words in this series, in this lesson rather. In this clip, I'm going to try to cover all of these 7 words. So Nabawa. Nabawa basically means a land. If you take a land, and then on that land, let's say you have a piece of land that's slightly high up, and everyone can see it. It has to be something which is protruding and it can be seen. This is called a nabwa. Okay, it's called a nabwa. Everyone can see it. It's high because it's layered. That's the important thing as well. It's like it's become higher than all the other pieces of land, and it can be clearly seen from far away, and it's kind of layered as well. So that's one of the meanings of, or usages in the Arabic language of this word, right? Nabwa. So for example, another example of this is let's say a person eats a lot, right? And he says nabautu, akaltu wa nabautu. So naba, it means like to become fat. So to become fat, you can clearly see, if you see a person, I was going to bring a picture of a person with a big belly and the buttons on the shirt breaking, but I don't want to bring that. So, but you guys can imagine it. So the belly coming out can be clearly seen from far away that something is going up, right? Something, belly, eating a lot, fat, etc. Right? So that's another example. Another example is like a horse. Imagine this is a horse, right? And you put a saddle on a horse. Now, if that saddle is not put on properly, or it's gone old, it's made from leather or wood or whatever, and it's become old, then what happens is it cannot firmly fit onto the back of a horse anymore, right? It can't fit on the back of a horse anymore. So these three words, as you can see, are all from the meaning. And these three usages are not in the Quran. These are from outside the Quran, Arabic language, but the word nabawa is in the Quran. So now if you can appreciate what these words actually mean, and how they're used, like the example of the raised piece of land, or the belly coming out, becoming fat, or the saddle not being able to remain on the back of the horse, then you can appreciate nab. So let's now have a look at some ayats. For example, like Inna awla nasi bi Ibrahim lalladhina tabu. Indeed, the closest of people to Ibrahim are those who follow him. Right, those are the closest people. Wa hadha nabi, and this prophet. So they say that the word nabi, many of the linguists say that this is from the word nabawa, right? So nabawi. So this nabi is like above everyone else. He's higher. He's kind of like, it's not just randomly, coming first in a race. It's actually something which there's effort behind it. Allah has put him there. Allah has selected him. It's been like something that's been going on for a long time, So there's like a very kind of powerful meaning there of going up there, being high, above everything else, distinct, clear, right? So I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say here, right? What I'm trying to point out. But the word nabi, right, is the nabawa. So you can say, let's just maybe just jot some things down. So for example, let's draw an image here. Let's say there's people there, and there's a nabi. So the Nabi would be higher than everyone else. It's a natural in status, in ability, in intellect, in so many different ways. Yeah, the Nabi would be obviously higher and more distinct than everyone else. Okay, so right, that's one word done now. Let's go to another word, and let's go to naba'a, the second word. This clip is very long, guys. I know it's very long, but inshallah, watch it in portions if you like. But it's going to be very beneficial. So the next word is naba'a. So naba'a basically is used in Arabic language. For example, let's say you want to say a bull or an animal, a buffalo, kind of came from somewhere else and it came to another land all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden it appears. So it has this meaning of appearing in a place all of a sudden from somewhere else suddenly. And let me give you an example. So if you can see here, you can see these buffaloes running, yeah, or you can even see this water. So this is a video of water, and it's gushing. It's like the river banks have burst, and it's just come from nowhere. All of a sudden, it's just like kind of just spilt forth. So this spilling forth all of a sudden, or even an army attacking all of a sudden, a village or a place being attacked all of a sudden, is from the word naba'a. Yeah, so that has the meaning of nabi. Okay, so it has that kind of rushing, running, sudden meaning. So this is the word naba. So you can see now naba, wherever it's going to come in the Quran now, it's going to have this meaning of all of a sudden, something coming out from nowhere, something you were unaware of. Okay, all of that kind of those kind of meanings are kind of found inside of this word. So let's just write something. So hidden. Also there is the element of hidden, because if a rivers break the banks and the water just rushes in like a tsunami or something, then that's something which was unknown. It was hidden. You didn't know it was happening. You didn't know those buffaloes were going to attack. You didn't know that water was going to break, or whatever was going to happen. All of a sudden it happened. The word naba'a is used. Naba. So naba has to encompass these meanings. So you have the meaning of appearing all of a sudden from nowhere. Yeah. So now I want to show you how this is in the Quran. So this is from a book, and I'll put the link in the comments in the description below, so you guys can have access to this book as well, or link rather, website. So this is where the word naba is used in the Quran. Now, wherever you find the word naba, now if you guys don't understand Arabic, then I apologize. Maybe you can look in a translation or something, or maybe you can just bear with me, inshallah. So it says ورد في القرآن 160 مرة. So this word has appeared in the Quran 60 times. Naba'a, rule as has come in the Quran 100 and how many times? 60. 29 of those have appeared with the form naba'a, past form, واحد مذكر غائب. 75 times it's appeared in the form sigha nabi. So 75 times the word nabi has appeared in the Quran. Now, I'm not sure exactly how accurate this book is, right? But I'm using it just for you guys to, become more, or to understand it better. Okay, and 5 times it's appeared with nubuwa. And once it's appeared in the form istaf'ala, meaning istamba'a, yastambi'unaka. And 46 times it's appeared with fa'ala, nabba'a, yunabbi'u. And 4 times it's appeared with af'ala. Af'ala yuf'ilu if'al. Now, if you want to look at all those, I'm not going to go through all of them, but in this book, it's actually brought all those ayats, and you can look at each one separately. So like over here, it brings all of them. ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الْغَيْبِ نُوحِيهِ إِلَيْكَ. That is from the anba, the naba, the information, the kind of the news which all of a sudden came, which was hidden, which you did not know. It was rushing, powerful, of ghaib, of the unseen. Nuhihi ilayk, that we, Allah says, I reveal it to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So dhalika min anba'il ghaib. Now you can see the power of that word now, right? Or for example, like let's look at another word, another ayah. Watlu alayhim naba'a abnay Adam. Recite to them, O Prophet of Allah, recite to the people about Naba abnay Adam, the news of the 2 sons of Adam. So Naba, again, it means something sudden. They didn't know about this. They were uninformed of this. And all of a sudden, it kind of just comes to them. So like a very, very powerful piece of information. Very important. Okay, so Naba ibn Adam بالحق إذ قرب قربان فسوف يأتيهم أنباء ما كانوا به يستهزئون. Surely, soon, it will definitely come to them. Amba, the news, the information, the facts of those which they used to mock. Okay, so you got the amba there, and you got many other ayahs, as you can see. لَقَدْ جَاءَكَ مِن نَبَإِ الْمُرْسَلِينَ, the naba of the prophets, the ones who were sent. Very powerful information, just like the water gushing, just like the buffaloes rushing. Yeah, it kind of gives you a very vivid image. Okay, so again, throughout the Quran, you can go through the Quran, you can find many, many examples of and in Naba al-Azim, Naba al-Azim, and you can improve your understanding, the precision of the words of the Quran. Oh, okay, right, let's move to the next one now. The next one is Nabata, right? So if you're writing with me, you can pause it if you like. So Nabata basically is like this. Imagine there's a piece of land, and from there grows something upwards, yeah? So nabata, naba, and the ta at the end, this has the meaning of moistness in there. It has to be moist, soft, right? It has to be something which goes upwards. All these words, naba has the meaning of going upwards, if you notice, to the surface, high. Okay, so for example, like another example in the Arabic language is a child, and let's say there's an adult, and this adult is bringing this child up, raising it, rearing it, nurturing it. The young is soft, and it's meek, and it's timid, and it's being brought up. It's being carefully, tenderly taken care of. So this is the upbringing, the nabata. So for example, like look at this video. This is a germination taking place, seed growing, and the sapling will come out in a bit. So as you can see, it's soft. It's kind of breaking through, very firm, very kind of moist color as well. And it's growing, and then its branches, leaves are coming out as well. So there's this process that's taking place of nabata, going upwards. Yeah, nabat. Okay, so that's basically that. Let's look at some examples in ayat. So warada nabata fil Quran 26 marra. So 26 times come in the Quran. 9 times it's come with the sigha of nabat, and once it's actually come in the sigha mujarrad, nabata yanbutu. And 16 times it's come with the sigha af'al. Ambata yumbitu imbat. Yeah, bab if'al. Okay, and then there's many examples underneath. فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا بِقَبُولٍ حَسَنٍ وَأَنبَتَهَا نَبَاتًا حَسَنًا. Allah is talking about Maryam alayhi salam. تَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا, Maryam's Lord, Allah, accepted her بِقَبُولٍ حَسَنٍ, with a beautiful acceptance. وَأَنبَتَهَا, and He grew her نَبَاتًا حَسَنًا, in a way that was nurtured, moist, soft, tender, the perfect circumstances, the perfect conditions for bringing up Maryam alayhi salam in that time. Nabat and Hasana. So you can imagine that kind of sapling growing. It was kind of, Allah wants to, or is bringing that imagery there. Okay, وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً, He is the one who sent down from the sky water. فَأَخْرَجْنَا بِهِ, so we brought out with it, or due to it, نَبَاتَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ, the nabat, the plants. Now all plants, because they come out from the ground, or because they grow upwards, these are known as nabats. Every single thing, the trees, all the trees in the world, all the plants in the world are all nabats. Nabat of every single thing Allah says we grow. أخرجنا منه خضرا, and you bring out from it خضرا, etc. The verse goes on. Next. والبلد الطيب يخرج نباته بإذن ربه. The beautiful land, the pure land, it brings out or its plants, nabat, its growth grows with the permission of Allah. So again, the beautiful land, and then you can imagine a lush garden or forests growing, imagery, nabat. Okay, so you can see there's other words as well. Tambutu bidduhun. So in Turi Sina, there is a tree, or there's a type of tree that grows with duhun, and it has oil in there. Sibghi lil akilin, and this is sibg for the eaters. مثل الذين ينفق أموالهم, the example of those people who spend from their wealth في سبيل الله, in the path of Allah. كمثل حبة, is like the example of a seed. حبة, a seed, one seed. أنبتت, and this seed, أنبتت, it makes grow, أنبت, nabat, grow upwards, nurturing, tender, taking care of. أنبت سبع سنابل, 7 spikes. في كل سنبلة, in every spike there is 100 seeds. Yeah, so the word أنبتت here, it gives you an image of softness and growing and lush and fresh. Yeah, okay. So there's many other words that as you can see, that are mentioned over here as well, and which you can check out yourself as well. Yeah, go find translation, inshallah. Look at the translation, look at these words, how they're used. So if you can see nabat, you can see how it's used in the Quran. Okay, next word. The next word is nabata. So nabata is basically, imagine a pit. You're digging a pit, right? So this is a pit. This is my version of a pit. And there's a guy inside this pit. And this guy is digging. And what does he want? He wants water, basically. He's digging a well. So he wants water supply. And to get water, sometimes you gotta dig very deep into the ground. So this guy digs, and eventually he finds some water coming up. This water that comes up is known as nabat. Yeah, nabat. So nabat is basically that water that comes up after digging for so long for water. Right. So what kind of meanings can we kind of appreciate here? What kind of words come to our mind here? And you think about this yourself as well. So one that comes up is appearing, upwards, appearing, nabat. Okay, another meaning over here is the meaning of upwards. Another meaning of the word nabat here is effort. Yeah, that's crucial. That is, it's crucial. So there's a lot of effort that goes into it before that water is found. Someone's got to dig it. Okay, let me just move this down here. Make it easy for me later. Right. So here's an example now. So these guys, all smiley guys, happy guys, they are digging a well. Right. Now look how deep that is here, man. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably die just looking at that well. Right. But these guys have been digging. Right. So these guys are digging, and they're saying something I can't understand. But look what they found. The man's smiling. Okay, the mustache man is smiling, and he has found what? He has found the first signs of water, moistness. Water is found, and these guys are excited. Look at that, all their effort of digging for hours and hours and maybe even days, they've come to water. This is called nabat. So that water under their feet, that's called nabat. That is nabat. Okay, that's the nabat, right? So nabat. So we have the word nabat over here. Now in the Quran, it's only one place that this word is used, and it's only used in the form of istaf'ala. Istambata yastambitu. And what is that? وَلَوْ رَدُّوهُ, if the people had taken the information back to the messenger, وَإِلَى أُولِي الْأَمْرِ, and to those people who were in charge, authority, minhum, of them, لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ, then indeed the people who يَسْتَنْبِتُونَهُ would have known it. The people who put lots of effort and struggle and strive to find the answer, to find the solution, would have known the answer. Yeah, and scholars say that this refers to, people who have a vast understanding of Islam. Yeah, those people, because they dig, just like those diggers there. They kind of dig into the sources and try to unearth the answer. Okay, so we have yastambituna, nabata. Right, next word. Next word is naba'a, naba'a, with the ain. Right, so imagine a piece of land. There's a piece of land there, and this time there's water coming up naturally without any effort. So you can already understand water coming up with an effort, nabata. Water coming up without an effort, this is naba'a, naba'a. Okay, so this is, what this kind of meaning it gives, is softness. There's softness there as opposed to nabata. There's actually some ease there as well, as opposed to three guys digging in a well. And there's also, it comes up as well, yeah, which is also found in nabata, to come up. Okay, so you've got these meanings over here. So this is a spring, what we call a spring. So the water that comes up, that's called naba'. In Arabic, the naba', you call it. Okay, so the ain and the ta might be key in understanding, and I don't want to go through this in this series, but this is something for you guys to think about it. The ain and the ta are key into understanding the difference between the two. Ta seems to have a more of a powerful kind of sound, ta, so it has more, or it befits the meaning of effort, and the ain is more softer, back of the throat, yeah, kind of. So I don't know, this is something that scholars have discussed, but we're not going to be discussing in this series, inshallah. Right, so here's an example, a picture, or a video rather, that I found of water coming. This is a natural spring, this is. So a natural spring, look at that, it provides water easily, nicely to all the land around it, and this man put his hand into it. So that's the word nabadha. Next, let's look at the Quran. So naba'a rather. So naba'a, this appears only once in the Quran, and it appears in the form yambu', okay, or yanabi', twice in the Quran rather, not once, twice. Okay, so qalu, the disbelievers said, lan nu'mina laka, we will never believe in you, hatta tafjur, until you burst forth from the earth, yambu'. Yeah, in other words, you just point at the earth and make some water gush out from the earth, because they were living in Arabian Peninsula and water was very rare. So if you can just point at a place and water would gush out from the ground like a spring, then we'll believe, you're a prophet, you're a messenger. So naba'a yambu', they used the word yambu'. They didn't say nabata. If they said nabata, then a person can easily just dig the ground and maybe find water. They use the word naba'a. Okay, again in the Quran, alam tara, don't you see, anna Allah, that indeed Allah, anzala minas sama, he sent down from the sky, ma'an fasalakahu, water, and then he made that water take its roots, take its path under the ground, yanabi, in the form of yanabi, like springs, underground springs, fil ardi, yeah, and then thumma yukhriju, etc., all this to the end. Okay, so that's the word naba'a. Next word, nabadha. So the word nabadha is, let's say you have a cup of water and you have some dates. So you put some dates inside some water and you leave the dates there. This becomes what we know as nabidh. Nabidh, it's a very famous Arabic kind of beverage that was drunk. So a person who puts these in, right, he actually throws them in. They're actually thrown in. Throw, naba. Yeah, naba means that to throw in, nabadha. So again, throwing them in is found in this word, nabadha, has the meaning of throwing in. So you can see this word, it holds the meaning of, let's write this down there. So throwing, you can see throwing there. You can see an element of far, because you throw it away from you, so it's far away from you. And you can see an element of, I'm going to try to fit this all in, a few. So you only throw something away from you if it's few. If it's lots of things, you get tired, you don't really do that, right? It's just something, a few things you throw, a few pens or a few pencils, or and it has randomness in there, because when you throw it away from yourself, you're not very precise. It's not like you're trying to get it on a target, so it's a bit random. So it has the meaning of randomness. Okay, and it also has not to care, so you're not really bothered. There's no care there in how you throw it. Okay, so okay, one more. Let me put one more in, and it's a while. It stays there, so it's thrown and then it's left there for a while. Okay, because nabid has to stay in the water for a while for the juices to kind of disperse in the water. Okay, anyway, so here's an example. Nice little girl. She's throwing. See that random throwing. Oh, she's throwing random pieces of bread at the birds. Okay, so that's an example of that. Right, so nabadha is done. Finally, let's look at the verses. So nabadha in the Quran comes 12 times. 10 times it appears in the thulathi mujarrad, so nabadha yanbudhu, and twice it appears in the ifti'al pattern. Intabadha yantabidhu. Okay, intabadha yantabidhu. So let's have a look here. Awa kullama ahadu ahdan, is that every time that these people of the book, every time they make a covenant, a promise that they're not gonna do something. Nabadahu fariqun minhum. A group from amongst them randomly just chucks it away, just throws it away. Nabath, like the bread, throws it randomly, just far away from themselves, like they break the promise. So it's like they've taken the contract, wrapped it up, and thrown it away. Yeah, so they nabatha. So that meaning of nabath is there. Akhadnahu, Allah talks about the people of Fir'aun and his army. Akhadnahu, we took Fir'aun, wa junudahu, and his army, fanabadhnahum, and we just chucked them, we threw them. Yeah, so Allah throwing them, how powerful that would have been. And Allah did it with the water. Yeah, they came inside the water, and the water just collapsed on them, and it threw them everywhere. Fil yam, yeah, in the river. So nabadhnahu, the powerful meaning of just randomly throwing them, like very violent. You can see that there. Okay, so nabadh is used. Nabadhnahu bil ara, talking about Yunus alayhi salam. Nabadhnahu, we threw him bil ara. So when he was swallowed by the fish spat him out. Nabadhna, in the open area. Wa huwa saqim, and he was really ill. La yumbadhanna fil hutama. Okay, so la yumbadhanna fil hutama. So the people of Jahannam, when they will be actually not put into Jahannam, they will be randomly thrown into Jahannam, like violently thrown. You can see that meaning of randomness, not have no care for them, into the hutama. Hutama is the name of the Jahannam, which smashes things up. Yeah, so it smashes up things. La yumbadhanna fil hutama. Okay, so that's the verses. Okay, here's one. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ مِيثَاقَ الَّذِينَ. And remember when Allah, He took the covenant of those people who were given the book, the Jews and the Christians. لَتُبَيِّنُنَّهُ. Indeed, you will. In other words, Allah said to them, the covenant was, you will tell the people in Nasi. In other words, when the messenger of Allah appears, you have to tell the people that this is the messenger of Allah, right? Because it's in your books, and you've kind of taken an oath, so you have to tell them, وَلَا تَكْتُمُونَهُ, and do not conceal it. When he appears and all the signs are found in him, tell everyone that this is him. فَنَبَذُوهُ. So what did they do? Did they fulfill that promise? No, they didn't. They threw it away. نَبَذُوهُ. And where did they throw it? وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ, behind their backs. Like, this is even worse. نَبَذَ means to throw something away from you. And then behind your backs, that's like, oh my God, these guys have no consideration for Allah's oaths and promises. And this is what they've done. So, نَبَذُوهُ وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ. Such a powerful meaning that you get when you understand and appreciate the root meanings. Finally, the last word now. Right, this is a date palm now, okay? So, nibs or nabs. Date palm. Now, on the date palm, you have around the bark, you have this kind of extra growing things that grow around it, yeah? So this extra growing things, or we call the husk of the tree or the fiber of the tree, right? This is called nibs, right? It's like the extra kind of things. I'm going to show you a little video in a bit of what this is. So this is something which is extra on the surface. Naba, it's got the meaning there. So it's something which is up above, and it's also something which is dry, has a dry element to it. Maybe that's the za, playing here. And then you have the meaning of surface, above and top surface, it's in the surface area, and it's also not something which is needed, right? In other words, it's extra. Yeah. So in other words, it's not something which people might even want. It's like you can add other things as well here. Like you can say maybe it's something which is a bit of a waste as well, and something which annoys people, right? Nibs or nibs rather. So here's an example. There's a man here, and he's cutting away at this nibs. So he's breaking, and the reason you break this is so that the other branches get get the benefit, nutrients from the tree. So he's breaking it, as you can see, cutting away, breaking. Okay, so let's look at the verse of the Quran. So nabz, it's only once appeared in the entire Quran, and it's appeared in the verb form tafa'ul. Tanabaza yatanabazu. Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تَلْمِزُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Right, don't criticize one another, don't like backbite one another. وَلَا تَنَابَزُوا, and do not throw at one another. تَنَابَزُوا بِالْإِلْقَامِ. In other words, do not kind of like use names, excess names, extra names, which people don't like. Alqab means like names. Tanabuz, it means like the date palm, those things that were growing over it. So la tanabazu one another. Don't like attach those alqab to one another. Don't throw these names at one another. Yeah. So it's just very powerful how when you understand this root meaning, it has such an effect on a person. So what I want to do with this series, inshallah, is I hope you guys have benefit from this, and inshallah I'm trying to do more. I need your support. Thank you very much to my patrons for supporting me to be able to do this, and this is something I'm really passionate about. And inshallah, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will be able to do more of this. And if you guys want to become my patrons and you want me to do more of this kind of stuff, right, and I want to do much more I want to do, but I need time, I need equipment, I need to be able to dedicate myself for this, because this video has probably taken me, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 hours easily. 3 or 4 hours just to make this one video. So you can imagine if I want to make a whole series of words in the Quran, how it's going to take me a long time. So if you want to support me with my Patreon, you can support whatever you want to give, inshallah, will be for a good cause, and you'll be getting a reward for everything you do. And there's many other perks as well in supporting as well. You can check out my Patreon channel in the description, or you can click on the logo. Thank you very much, guys. And it's very, 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 very special thank you to all of my patrons that I have who are supporting me, and very kind people. May Allah reward them immensely. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.